Hello, folks, and welcome to another episode of the Cubs Line Podcast. I'm Ryan Dunleavy.
And I'm Ryne Sandberg.
And today the Cubs dropped game one of the Milwaukee series 8-4, but more importantly, today the baseball world mourns the loss of a true legend, Ryne Sandberg, a Hall of Famer whose class, quiet leadership, and unwavering dedication to the game defined an era of Cubs baseball and inspired generations of fans and players alike. His graceful play at second base, powerful bat, and humility off the field made him not just a Cubs icon, but a symbol of what it means to show respect and love the game. Ryne Sandberg wasn't just one of the greatest second basemen to ever play the game. He was the heart of the Chicago Cubs for over a decade, a player whose quiet intensity, relentless work ethic, and all-around excellence elevated not only the team, but the entire sport. His passing is a profound loss to the baseball community, but his legacy will live forever on the ivy of Wrigley Field and in the hearts of Cubs fans everywhere. It's hard to put into words what Ryne Sandberg meant to an entire generation of fans. He was the reason so many of us fell in love with the game, the way he carried himself, the way he played with dignity and fire, the way he made excellence look effortless. Losing Ryno isn't just losing a Hall of Famer, it's losing a piece of most people's childhood and a piece of our Cubs identity. Rest in peace, Ryno. Thank you for everything.
Yeah, I mean, it's, a tough loss today, but it's kind of tough to think about that when you think about, Ryne Sandberg, a legend, in this city and in the Major League Baseball world. I've been watching the post game for, since the last pitch. They haven't talked about the game once, rightfully so. Just obviously me and Ryan didn't grow up watching him, but we've heard stories from our dads, our grandparents, and my name's Ryan. I was almost named Ryan because my dad loved Sandberg so much, but my mom had to be like, I don't know about that. Just that shows you how much of a legend he was. A lot of young kids wanted to play like him. It's just tough to see, and especially after he thought his cancer had left, then it came back, and Bob Costas came on. He said, I knew it was kind of an any day now thing. So yeah, it's sad, a big loss in the baseball world. I hope that they wear a patch, a 23 patch, put a big thing behind the home plate, honor him. This season's for him now, and yeah, just a sad day to kind of focus on a baseball game when something bigger has happened in the baseball world.
Yeah, Ryan Sandberg was just a true staple in our parents' childhood. I mean, he represented the Cubs. He didn't just wear the Cubbies jersey to wear it. He played with heart, hustle, integrity. Just really sad loss. I was honored enough to go to the game last year when they unveiled his statue, and just the speech and everything was so inspirational. I just He was a great guy off the field, and his on the field was amazing too. I mean, a 68 career WAR, 300 or 8,385 at bats, 2,386 hits, 282 home runs, and he hit a career average of 285. Um, he started his career with the Phillies in 1981. Then he went over to the Cubs, was an all-star, I believe. Let me double check this. 9 years in a row, he was an all-star. Just unreal. I'm really gonna miss Ryno. I loved seeing him around the park. I was blessed enough to meet him once or twice at Wrigley Field, and I'm really gonna miss Ryno. And I hope the Cubs go win a World Series for him and represent that 23. He was way more than just a player to the city of Chicago, and we're really gonna miss Ryno. I'm keeping his family in our prayers. Um, Super cool to see him throw out the first pitch last year when I went to the Mets versus Cubs game, and it was really cool to see all of his family have his back. He, I believe, had 11 um grandsons, something like that. He had his wife, he had his siblings, he had his kids, and I want to keep them in their prayers. And thank you for everything, Rhino.
Yeah, like you said, I mean, he stayed involved. Like as soon as he retired from the game of baseball, he managed the Iowa Cubs for a bit, the Tennessee Smokies. He was always around the game of baseball. He's just kind of, he's those guys that he's always been around the game. He always went to Cooperstown for the induction every year since his induction. And yeah, I mean, we're just really gonna miss him. I did meet him once at a Cub game. He's a very nice guy. Like he's a guy that you could talk to for hours. He's a great guy. We'll miss him. But yeah, huge loss in the baseball community.
Ryan, I don't know if you remember, but last year when it was the Toronto Blue Jays game, we were actually on the field and Ryno was right in front of us. He was a really cool
Yeah,
dude.
that's right. That's right. It was he was talking to, oh, wasn't
Nico,
it?
I believe.
It was Nick. Yeah, it was Nico. They just had Nico on the post game talking about him. Yeah, it was cool to be that up close to him. And that just shows you, he's just such a great guy. He can just chop it up with anybody.
Yeah, and I'm gonna keep these people in our prayers. His family, Cindy White, Margaret Coheman, Justin Sandberg, Lindsay Sandberg, Wayne Sandberg, Dell Sandberg, Elizabeth Sandberg, Derwent D. Sandberg, and then Meryl Nance Sandberg. There's probably a lot of family that I didn't get to, but I want to keep all of Ryne Sandberg's, all of his family in our prayers, especially his wife Margaret, and I hope the Cubs go win a World Series for him.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm hoping. Right, this season's now for him.
100%. So we'll get into the recap then.
Yeah, so the Cubs dropped this one 8-4. They blew a 3-0 lead. They are now one game back of the Milwaukee Brewers at 62-44. The Brewers improved to 63-43. So Jacob Mizorowski, Matthew Boyd. I mean, this was as close to a playoff game as you're gonna get before the playoffs start. Check tickets this morning. There were about 100 seats left. Standing room only tickets were about sold out. I mean, it was a playoff atmosphere, and it started, I think, better than we ever could have imagined. Michael Busch hits a single, Kyle Tucker walks, Seiya reaches on an infield single, bases loaded, nobody out. PCA strikes out, but it's a wild pitch. Bush comes in to score 1-0. Carson Kelly strikes out on a pitch that was about 3 inches off the plate. Bad call there. But what are you gonna do? And then Hap hits one off Mizorowski, bounces into or no, sorry, that was Seiya. That's my bad. Hap dribbles one to Mizorowski. Mizorowski throws it over the head of the first baseman, scoring 2 runs, makes it 3-0. Then Dansby walks to his first and second. Nico with a very long at bat. So it was a 10 pitch AB. As much as you don't like to strike out, get that pitch count up. I mean, it was a really good, AB. If you're gonna get the third out, that's what you do. You rack up 10 pitches. So the Cubs leave the inning up 3-0. Then Boyd runs into a little bit of trouble early. Sal Frelick walks, Jackson Churio walks, and then William Contreras grounds into a double play, and then Christian Yelich grounds out. I believe that was the great Matt Shaw diving play. Yeah, it was. So I mean, Gold Glove caliber play from
Ball
Matt
was
Shaw.
hit 109. And one thing I do want to say, Matthew Boyd had zero control on his fastball tonight. We haven't seen that all year. He had a lot of control issues tonight on the fastball, and a lot of his curveballs were hanging.
Yeah, he looked way off tonight. So nothing really goes on, and then until the bottom of the second, Boyd was in a lot of trouble. I kind of knew it was only a matter of time before it would kind of get out of reach, or at least the lead would go away. So on the bottom of the second, with 2 outs, Bryce Terang singles, Durbin walks, and then Ortiz flies out. So 2 on, but they still get out of the inning there. Bottom of the third inning, this is where the lead does go away. Sal Frelick singles, Churio strikes out, William Contreras singles, Christian Yelich doubles on a 3-1 slider, kind of right over the plate, right where Yelich kind of likes it. It wasn't over the plate; it was more kind of down and in, but he was able to pull it. Then Andrew Vaughn walks, Isaac Collins singles, Bryce Terang hits a sac fly. So the Brewers come out of there, leading 4-3. Nothing. Or top of the fifth, Michael Busch another single. Kyle Tucker fouls out. Sale walks, and then PCA flies out. Big moment there. 1-run game, time run and scoring position. PCA, your MVP coming up, hoping he can make a big play there, tie the game up, and then he just kind of gets under one, flies it up to right field, inning over there. Down the bottom of the fifth, Andrew Vaughn hits a homer to left center, 398 feet. This was a huge home run, honestly. The one and the two, kind of very different. The way the Cubs had kind of hit the ball after that first inning. What were you thinking after this Andrew Vaughn home run?
I'm starting to get sick of this guy. I mean, he goes to the White Sox, plays terrible, comes up to the Brewers, and he's a completely different player. He's been one of the reasons they've been winning as of late, and I'm done with him. But besides that, I mean, Matthew Boyd, you gotta be better. If you get 3 runs off the Miz, that's a well job done by the offense. And he's just got to be better, honestly. He had no command on his fastball. Everything was way out, or it was down the plate. He needs to be better.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to dock him too much just because of the season he's had, but tonight is kind of a day where you can't be off. You can be off, against the Rockies, against the Royals, but you can't be off your game tonight. So, bottom of the sixth, Cubs go down 1-2-3 in the top of the sixth. Bottom of the sixth, Sal Frelick hits a 2-run homer to right field, an absolute bomb. It only went 384 feet, but I mean it was gone. Off the bat, everyone kind of knew that to make it 6-3. This is when I was kind of like, oh, that's trouble. What about you?
Yeah, I didn't really have a good feeling either after that, after the Freelick bomb. I mean, I don't know why you put Presley in the bottom of the six. There's a lot more options in that bullpen. I didn't like that necessarily, but it's I didn't feel well, but that's kind of this right when the Rhino news kind of happened. So I'm like, you boys better fire up here and get a W for Rhino.
Yeah, and they didn't get the dub tonight, so hopefully everyone kind of find out that news. It'll light a spark, and they'll get the win tomorrow and set up a Wednesday rubber match, which we will hopefully be at. And then in the top of the seventh inning, Nico leadoff single. Kind of get fired up there. Your leadoff guy would get on. Kind of start something up. Hopefully, Matt Shaw strikes out. Bad day from him, but again, I won't put too much on him. He's been really good lately. But again, kind of a Matthew Boyd situation. Tonight's probably not the night where you're gonna want to have a slump. A bad kind of night. So then Michael Bush is hit by a pitch and one out, first and second. Kyle Tucker coming up. I'm thinking, oh, here we go. Like I'm not like, oh, he's gonna hit a homer, but like, I mean, all I was thinking was base hit. Keep the line moving. What does he do? Base hit. Nico Horner scores. I don't really know why they sent Michael Bush here. A lot of speed in this Cubs lineup, but Michael Bush is not one of those guys. You got I believe it was Churio in center field. He came up.
Freelick, I believe.
Oh, it was free. Yeah, whoever was in center field came up charging it really hard. It was kind of a you know it was such an if I would not have sent Bush there at all. You're down two. You can't risk losing your base runners. You need guys on. And he gets thrown out pretty clearly was out. It wasn't a close play really, at all. It was closer than it kind of looked, but still he was hit the throw beat him by a lot. Um, so yeah, that was the second out. So runner at first for Saya. He strikes out. Who, he didn't have a good day. And then at the bottom of the seventh, flexing can hold. You got 2 innings to score 2 runs. And it was good to come away with one. What did you think about that Michael Bush play though?
I mean, uh, sorry, which player? I just classifying that.
Oh, sorry, when they sent Michael Bush and he was thrown out.
I did not like that send. It's been way too many times that Quinn and Barry has made bad reads. Obviously, they're not going to fire him because he's Council's right-hand man, but I mean, he's been not good this year. And as much as like you can't really dock the third base coach that much, like that's honestly a big role. I mean, you're the one giving the signs, making the calls. You're the one that has to send guys to home, and he's not been good this year. But that is Council's right hand man, and he's done a good job besides that. But I don't like that send personally. You got Saya and PCA coming up, and with your guys, I don't like that send at all.
That's the thing. It's like with one out, like this might be kind of like except for a sac fly, like the difference between a run around second and a run around third is, I mean, it's kind of different in a way, or it's kind of the same in a way of like a knock and he scores, right? Like you don't want to be overly aggressive in that situation, like because if he's on second, a base hit ties the game. or a base hit scores. Sorry, a base hit scores the run. So as much as I mean, a run on third, ground ball, kind of in a bad spot, does score a run. So that would I'll retract that. But like, if he's on second, the base hit still scores. Like, I don't know why you would be overly. If PCA's there around it, you send PCA, you send Matt Shaw. But like Michael Bush he's one of the slower guys in the lineup. Like I don't really know why they sent him there. That was just again Quentin Berry just being too overly aggressive.
Yeah,
And
that
then
was dumb.
yeah, and then in the bottom of the seventh, William Contreras leadoff single, Christian Yelich home run, nail in the coffin. That was pretty much it for me, in regards of hoping for a comeback. What about you?
I mean, you're still within a grand slam, but Brewers do have a good back end of the bullpen.
Yeah, and then in the top of the eighth inning, PCA grounds out. Carson Kelly gets hit by a pitch, so maybe you can get at least one back. Hap strikes out. Dansby lines out. Bottom of the eighth, Flexen gets 1, 2, 3, and then at the top of the ninth, Nico and Shaw line out or fly out. Sorry, Bush walks, Tucker walks, and then Seiya Suzuki strikes out on 3 pitches. He took the first one, pretty questionable spot. And then he takes a curveball in the zone and then swings right through a four-seam fastball. I was kind of thinking about this, and Seiya Suzuki is an absolute dog before the eighth inning. When it's like a huge situation where you need him to get a hit, I feel like he kind of disappears. Like it's not like it's not like he never gets a clutch hit, but it's like I feel like you know if you need a hit from him, he's kind of like he's not the clutchest guy in the lineup.
I'd have to disagree with that because I was fine with him taking those 2 pitches because typically when you're in catch-up baseball, you're not swinging until 2 strikes. If it can hit you, let it hit you. Foul off pitches that are close. That's just kind of catch-up baseball. I'm not gonna, he has hit walk-offs in the past. I'm not going to dock him too much. He's probably been the best hitter this year for the Cubs aside from maybe Tucker and PCA.
Yeah, no credit taken away from him. I mean, he's been an amazing hitter this year. Again, best year of his career. I'm just saying, like, not even just tonight. Like in the past, there's been, not like bottom of the ninth, 2 out situations. Just more like, 4-1, 2 on, 2 out in the bottom of the seventh. He's up and he strikes out. So I mean, there's some times where I'm like, oh, I'd rather have, someone else, come in. So now we'll get into the pitching. Final thoughts on kind of, the scoring of the bats.
I mean, a big game. You have Miz. You score 3 off the Miz in the first inning. That gave me a lot of hope, and then you just completely let down. The bullpen was terrible. The the Cubs need to wake up and win a series.
Yeah, they need the next two. You can't lose a series like this because the thing is, if you lose this series, only if you get swept, you then don't own the head to head anymore. So that I mean that's been the big thing, right? The Cubs have owned the tiebreaker. Well right now the head to head is tied. So tomorrow will be the head to head
It
tiebreaker, and
is
then it is the
okay.
Cubs won the first the 3 game series 2-1, and then tonight made it 2-2.
Oh yeah, you're right.
So we'll get to the pitching here. Matthew Boyd gets the start in the loss. Goes to 11-4, 5 innings, 6 hits, 5 runs. They were all earned. 5 walks, 2 strikeouts, 90 pitches. He's now at a 2.47 ERA. Ryan Presley goes an inning, gives up a hit, a run. It was earned. No walks, no strikeouts. He threw 11 pitches. He's at a 3.79 ERA. Chris Flexen goes 2 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs. They were all both earned. He had a strikeout. He threw 25 pitches. He's at a 3.09 ERA. So Chris Flexen has kind of emerged as, I mean, kind of the inning eater in this bullpen. Are you okay with that, or would you make it someone else?
I'm fine with that until they trade for a pitcher. I make that guy Ben Brown. Assuming that they get a guy like Edward Cabrera, Joe Ryan, Mackenzie Gore, Mitch Keller, someone at the deadline that I assume will take Ben Brown's spot. I'd kind of make Ben Brown that because Flexen did have a nice little run, but hitters are starting to figure him out.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I think, once this trade deadline happens, so, the Friday game, hopefully, there's a move to be made tomorrow or Wednesday. I'm hoping they can make one Wednesday, and even tomorrow. But I think, the whole kind of trajectory of this club of everyone's role will be figured out Thursday or Friday. Um, so for player of the game, who's your player of the game?
My player of the game. Hold up, I'm just looking at the stats. I'm gonna go with Christian Yelich. He was 2 for 4 on the night with 2 runs, 3 RBIs, and he hit the game clinching homer.
Yeah, I mean Christian Yelich is probably my pick. I'll go. I'll go. Oh, I don't know. I mean,
For
I'll just go
Freeland.
Chris. Yeah, I'll go Frelick. Had that had that home run. You know that kind of you know that kind of made it out of reach in my eyes. So I'll go Sal Frelick.
Yeah.
So I'll ask you a couple questions here. So for my first question, does this game kind of show that bullpen arms and the bullpen should be a bigger priority at the trade deadline than people are kind of talking about right now?
1000%. I don't think you necessarily need like top end guys, but you need guys that can pitch innings. You need Kyle Finnegan, some guys that can pitch big innings and are proven. 100% that definitely proves it.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think Jed Hoyer needs to stop sitting back and telling himself that this roster is in an okay spot. It's not. They've won 62 games this year. They're looking like a playoff team, but to be a World Series team, they need some changes here in the next couple of days.
Yeah, speaking on Jed Hoyer, I want to congratulate him though on his extension today. I do give him credit though. I mean, he has rebuilded this team from when they were
Twice actually, he's rebuilt it. So I mean, all credit to
some
Jed.
guys that the Cubs can trade for. These guys are all in division, so I don't know how it would work, but David Bednar, Dennis Santana. I would really love if they could get Ryan Helsley from the Cardinals. Really good pickup. I know they've been in talks with Baltimore about Sir Anthony Dominguez. He throws around 98, 99 with a 31% strikeout rate. He's solid. Andrew Kittredge, he's been pretty good, proven career. He's on the Orioles too. Another guy that I would like is Kyle Finnegan.
Yeah, I'm really hoping they can get Kyle Finnegan. I think he's kind of my number one right now for arms. That can go late in the game. So
100%.
for my second question here, who in this lineup needs to take a big step up? More than what they've been doing in the last month or even in the last week.
Ian Happ. Ian Happ is the leader on this team. I'm gonna call him the captain. He's been on this team for the longest. He knows all the guys. He has been the Cubs left fielder for maybe the past 5 to 6 years. He needs to step up. He needs to be clutch, and he needs to lead these guys and be the leader that they need.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I mean, people get lost in talking about, playoff experience with this team. People go to Presley and Tucker. People forget that Ian Happ was on the 2017 team, on the 2018 team, and on the 2020 team. So he's got some playoff experience under his belt, and hopefully he can bring that with this October run this year.
Yeah, some other guys, that 2 through 4 spot. I mean, PC Tucker's been pretty decent actually, but PCA and Saya need to wake up as soon as possible. PCA in his last 15 games is hitting 233, and he's supposed to be in the MVP talks. Saya Suzuki in his past 15 games, he's hitting 193. In his last 30 games, he's hitting 248. In his last 7 games, he's hitting 115. In his last 30 games, he only has 8 home runs. He's dropped down to a 251 batting average. He started off the year red hot, and he's just been slumping as of late. Saya needs to get an off day and work with Dustin Kelly and wake the hell up before these playoffs start.
Yeah, I agree. A lot needs to change. Even though, again, people look at the record and they talk about that, but there's a lot that needs to change before. I mean, even before September. They're as much as people want to push it off, they're going to be in a division race until probably the last week. So, they got to turn it around. The Brewers are already getting better. Made the Jansen trade today. So yeah, they got to go out. They got to do something before this deadline here. Hopefully tomorrow or Wednesday too.
Hopefully tomorrow, so we can see a debut on. Wednesday. That'd be pretty nice.
Yeah, you're right. I'm actually really hoping that they can do something tomorrow and we can see a new player on Wednesday. That would be great. So
Hmm.
we'll get into the preview for tomorrow. So it'll be Colin Ray versus Quinn Priester. Colin Ray, um, I actually did want to talk about this a little bit just for a brief moment. So although he had a pretty bad outing last Wednesday against Kansas City, right now or coming into that game, he was 8-3 with a 3.80 ERA. That's like a crazy silent, like pretty good season right there. Like, what have you seen from Colin Ray that has kind of impressed you this season, even though people have kind of like pushed him off as you know, as saying he's a bad starter?
So, I mean, the Cubs signed him from the Brewers, so this is his kind of revenge start, if you could say. He's been on the Brewers his entire career, and he signed with the Cubs this year. Started out the year as kind of a long reliever bullpen guy, kind of barely made the roster. And then Justin Steele goes down with an injury. He doesn't even know it yet, but he's starting a Sunday night baseball game in LA versus the Dodgers in the rubber match series, trying to win a series, and he goes out there and shoves. Then gave up 2 runs, maybe gets the W. And he's been everything that this team's needed. He's shut out the Phillies. He's beat the Dodgers. He's pitched in big games, and he's been the unsung hero of this Cubs team.
Yeah, I mean he's been great. He's having a silent a silent like really good season. So right now he's 8-4 with a 4.06 ERA. He's thrown 102 innings, given up 103 hits, 73 strikeouts, 27 walks, given up 19 homers. Quinn Priester 9-2 with a 3.28 ERA. He's gone 101 and two-thirds innings. Very similar right there in production. Um, Priester has one less out than Ray. So these stats are very comparable with time, time in the game.
I just want to say
So
the Cubs did tee off on Priesler last time. That was the Friday night game on Apple TV and PCA, the Give Me My Money game. But he also has a 9-2 record and has been very hot. He was a Cubs fan growing up and a local Illinois kid.
yeah, hopefully we can get the redo again because we absolutely pounded him. But yeah, he's been really hot lately. He's given up 88 hits. He's thrown 86 strikeouts, 34 walks, and 11 homers. So his stats are better than Colin Ray. Um, I mean, hopefully you can go out and get a win tomorrow. What's your prediction and keys to the game?
My prediction for the game tomorrow is 7-2 Cubs win. And my keys is that the top of the lineup need to wake the hell up. It's about time PCA and Saya start hitting the ball. I know they're kind of taking their vacation during the All-Star break, but they need to wake up. They need to stop admiring that they had a great first half and help this team make a push to be the best team in the MLB.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'll go 6-1 Cubs. And my keys to the game are four words: hit baseball, score runs. I mean, it's just
100%.
that's what you got to do, right? Again, like tonight, they really only scored one real run, right? The PCA
Hmm.
struck out, and it was a wild pitch, resulting in the first
Yeah.
run. Jacob Mizorowski fielded a ball that should have been a routine third out, and he airmailed it, making it 3-0. So they really did only score one real run tonight. So yeah, you gotta hit the baseball and score some runs tomorrow, get the win, and then hopefully win the series on Wednesday with Shota coming in.
Yeah, for sure. But Freddie Peralta's not going to be easy to hit. So we'll take a look around the MLB. The White Sox beat the Phillies tonight on the south side of Chicago. Luis Robert hit a 2-run home run or 2-run homer, and then Colson Montgomery also hit a 2-run bomb. The Guardians are beating the Rockies 5-4 in the top of the ninth inning, but the Rockies just hit a leadoff double, and Brennan Doyle tied the game. So we have a 5-5 ball game now. The Red Sox are beating the Twins 4-3 in the bottom of the ninth. They entered a rain delay. Roman Anthony hit a single to take the lead in the top of the ninth, but I'm sure they'll probably play around midnight, finish that game. The Angels are beating the Rangers 6-3. Zach Neto hit a big RBI double, and Luis Rendifo 2-run homer. The Mets are beating the Padres 5-3. Mark Vientos hit a grand slam. There has been some trade talks with Vientos, but right now the Padres have runners on second and third with Gavin Sheets up with a chance to tie the ball game with one out. Do you think Mark Vientos would be a big trade piece for the Mets, and who do you think they could go out and get for Vientos?
Um, it's tough to say who they could get from a team in need, but I've been hearing that the White Sox are
1 for 1. Yep.
are interested in Mark Vientos, and they're thinking a 1-for-1 Luis Robert for Mark Vientos. Now, I don't know who really wins that trade. I mean, I just don't
I
know
like
if it,
Vientos. He's got a lot of upside, honestly.
and
If think
Luis
about
Robert
this,
really, I just don't know if he does anymore, honestly.
I think about this though. You got Vientos at third, Colson at short, Mydroth at second, Vargas at first. You can platoon Lenny, Sosa, and Brooks Baldwin. The outfield, you got Benintendi. You're gonna have Brandon Montgomery coming up. He just got promoted to Double A. You'll have Benintendi, Brandon Montgomery, and then you could probably fill that other spot with a platoon. And catching, you got two of the best young catchers in the league, Edgar Caro and Kyle Teal. So I would do that trade for sure.
Yeah, I agree.
And then the Pirates are tied with the Giants right now at 4-4. Matt Chapman hit a RBI triple, and then Willie Adames had two RBI singles. The Mariners are beating the Athletics 3-0. Josh Naylor has solo shot his first as a Mariner. I do want to say give some class to the Athletics. It was at 20 minutes after Ryno passed away. They did a moment of silence before first pitch. That's a class act from the Athletics. The Orioles beat the Blue Jays 11-4. Mullins and Mayo hit back-to-back homers in the second inning, but Bo Bichette with a four-hit game. The D-backs lost to the Tigers 5-1 tonight. Troy Melton, 7 scoreless innings in his first MLB debut. The Rays beat the Yankees 4-2. Johnny DeLuca sealed the win with a running grab. That was nice. And then Junior Caminero his 27th bomb on the year, 2-run shot. The Dodgers beat the Reds 5-2. Yamamoto shoved Shohei 2-run double. Yamamoto struck out 9 tonight. Chase Burns not a terrible outing though as well. The Braves beat the Royals 10-7. Ronald Acuna hit a ball 468 feet for a 2-run bomb. Rich Hill got the loss tonight. He got tattooed. The Cardinals beat the Marlins 7-1. The Cardinals combined for 5 runs in the seventh inning, including an Alec Burleson solo shot. And then the Nationals beat the Astros 2-1. Framber Valdez struck out 12, but they could not get the job done. Kyle Finnegan with his 20th save on the year. Now we'll take a look at the standings. The Brewers lead the Cubs 1 game. The Mets lead the Phillies 2 games. The Dodgers lead the Padres 4.5 games. The Toronto Blue Jays lead the Yankees 5.5 games. The Tigers lead the Guardians 8.5 games. And Guardians Emmanuel Clase is now being investigated and on paid leave. The
And he
Astros,
definitely did it, by the way. All those, he definitely, there's definitely something going on there.
yeah, for sure. I saw the videos. The Astros lead the Mariners and the Rangers by 3.5 games. And then the Cubs have the first wild card spot by 5 games. The Phillies have the second wild card spot by 3 games. And the Padres have the last wild card spot by a game and a half. The Reds trail the wild card a game and a half. San Francisco and St. Louis 3 games back. And then the AL, the Yankees have a 1 game lead in the wild card. The Red Sox have a half a game lead, but if the Red Sox close out the ninth, then they will have a game lead. And then Seattle and Texas are tied for that third spot. The Rays are 2.5 games back. The Guardians are 3.5 games back. The Royals are 4.5 games back. The Angels are 5 games back. Now I'll do a little bit of MLB pickle. Ryan, give me a player.
Go with Sal Frelick.
I can't do that. Give me another guy.
um, do they do old players?
Yeah. No.
Oh, just current. Go with like Ryan Presley.
All right, he's on the Cubs and he's a righty from the USA.
Chris Flexen.
He's not a relief pitcher, so I'm gonna go Carson Kelly.
Oh, he's a starter.
No, he's not a pitcher.
Oh,
He's
sorry, I
31
don't.
years old.
That's my bad. I don't think I heard that.
31 years old from the USA. I'm gonna go Ian Happ, maybe.
Yeah.
He's 30 years old. Righty. Birdie, maybe. JB.
My boy.
Oh, my phone's loading. It's a little bit slow. He's too old. Dansby?
Yeah, go Dansby.
There we go. Dansby Swanson is your MLB pickle player of today. Now we'll play Immaculate Grid. Ryan, you
Oh,
got it pulled up.
Cubs Nationals here. That's the second one. But we'll start off with Cubs Nationals.
Trevor Williams.
Oh, good one.
You just making sure you still can see my camera, right?
Yep, all good.
Good. 'Cause I'm just doing it on my computer. Trevor Williams. Decent
And
pull.
then Cubs outfield Steve Cishek, because I remember he played the outfield in Milwaukee. 0.02%. Wow.
Armor the side armor.
Yeah. For some reason he played left field, but I
Yeah,
remember
I
that.
remember that. I do remember that.
Yep.
You could go for Giants and Mets. Michael Conforto. You got Conforto?
Once it loads, I will. Yep. Oh, of course, it's
Yep,
not
Michael
looking.
Conforto. And then played in the outfield for the Mets. I mean, pick whoever you want there.
Let's just go Juan Soto. Why not?
Yeah, I'll go Harrison Bader.
Cubs, Giants, Chris Bryant.
Mm-hmm. Maybe.
Giants, born outside United States, Rafael Devers.
Born out of the 50 states for the Nationals.
Uh,
Habert Ruiz. Bang.
there
And
you
then
go.
born out of the USA, played outfield, Ichiro Suzuki.
There you go. And then Mets Nationals to finish it out.
Um, Trying to think of someone.
Yeah. Man, we flew through this one.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Oh, I got one. Dom Smith. Dom Smith, first baseman, lefty.
There we go. We're immaculate, baby. What a
There we
job.
go. Thank you guys for tuning to today's show. Obviously, sad news for Ryno. Hopefully, the Cubs can go win a World Series for him. Praying for Ryno's family. Thank you guys for tuning into today's episode. Signing off, Ryan Dunleavy.
Ryan Zelinsky.
See you guys in the next episode.